Welcome to the Shared Desk, episode 94.
This one's really happening.
It is.
This one's really happening because I was convinced that we actually had recorded episode 94 before, and then February happened.
Time is a flat circle.
Time is a flat circle indeed. And it is, in fact, the Shared Desk. I am your host, T. Morris.
Hail to the king, baby.
I was king for a week. Now the lady is home, and now I have to answer to the lovely lady sitting across from me.
I'm Pip Valentine.
Great sword attack. Embiggened.
I found some new drop-ins, everybody.
Yeah, that's from my D&D campaign where I'm 21 feet tall.
Yeah, and we have a special guest in studio, a regular special guest.
KT Brisky.
You can see this dance now. Yeah.
It's a beauty.
We do this even when we weren't recording on video.
Right now, the cat is looking at me like, Funner, you need to go to the vet and have a shot right up the old bunghole. Oh, man. Yeah, the ladies are back.
We have returned.
You have returned victorious from, of course, the Smoky Writers Retreat. You guys left a week ago, prepared as always.
We had 2 bags of grass.
You did.
75 pellets of mescaline, 5 sheets of high-powered blotter acid, a salt shaker half full of cocaine, a whole galaxy of multicolored uppers, downers, screamers, laughers, also a quarter tequila, quarter rum, case of beer, pint of raw ether, 2 dozen anal.
It was really good that we weren't pulled over.
We packed light this year. We packed real light.
The beautiful thing about Twitch is people get to see the reactions that we don't have due to audio.
I also we brought back stuff such as this fine.
Is that what you're drinking right now?
I'm drinking Appalachian Sippin' Cream, 40 proof. It's the dark coffee chocolate cream liqueur.
And that is from?
This is from the Sugarlands Distilling Company.
There you go. Sugarlands Distillery of beautiful Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Available anywhere in Gatlinburg. Walk 5 feet and you'll find one.
Yeah, or stumble in this case. Mm-hmm. Katie, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a caramel macchiato stout from Old Busthead Brewery.
That's one of your faves, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the mocha one even better because it's got like even more of the coffee bitterness.
It's weird. I don't think they're making the mocha one.
No, it saddens my heart. But the caramel is pretty good.
Yeah. And they're actually bottling that one. They're bottling that one.
I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna take one.
Well, you might be drinking.
Customs might be watching.
I was just looking up the regulations. I can take a lot of alcohol.
Oh,
in that case,
fantastic.
Well, by the way, I should point out
another run.
You guys
international trade.
Yeah,
you guys are drinking from bottles, but I'm drinking from Captain Kirk's head.
There you go, Captain Kirk's head. We have a tiki collection, everybody. We have a tiki collection, and that's one of our favorite ones. I myself am also drinking from Old Busthead Brewery in beautiful Fauquier. That's Fauquier.
Live here, drink here, fuck here.
Fauquier County.
That's their motto.
That is their motto. Old Busthead Brewery. Live here,
like
drink here, fuck here.
And it's
Fauquier County. And this is a big shout out, by the way, to Phil Rossi. Phil Rossi, also Phil Rossi Media on Twitch. So Phil, I was his best man at his wedding, and as the duty of being the best man, I had to supply the beer. So I went to Old Busthead, and I introduced Phil and his party to the Graffiti House IPA, which is a West Coast IPA. And
it went down well.
It went down really well. Well, this is the guava-infused West Coast IPA. Guava-infused Graffiti House.
Sounds fancy. Another thing that Verena Vazatz would just scream at seeing.
Then fine, I'll just do the pinky there. This is for you, Verena.
That's so impure.
That's guavalicious. We made a run. Boy, it has been a day. It has been a day. While you were on the road, I was cleaning the kitchen, and then I was messing up the kitchen because we
demanded that person over there demanded meat.
We demanded meats, and we're gonna
American.
Yes.
We're gonna be talking about. We're going to be talking about plenty of that later on in the show. We made a beer run. I made a food run. I believe I did some work today for my day job. It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy week. And we are now here live on the shared desk taking your questions in chat. So feel free to say hi. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to know what you think of what we're drinking here and what we're talking about here. And what we're talking about here is the Smoky Writers Retreat 2019. This is the sixth one. Sixth one. It's organized by a friend of the show, Alex White. Mm-hmm. They went out of their way to make this wonderful retreat that is now extremely hard to get into. And
it's very exclusive.
Yeah,
very exclusive.
I wouldn't say exclusive. It's just hard.
Well,
to get
that's because
into.
we love it, and no one leaves.
Full.
It is full.
It is
full. Much like Alex's big heart, it is full.
Yes.
Especially after the Smoky Writers Retreat. Now, I usually go, but I paid to save my spot. I still have my spot, so I'm not worried about it. But
it's all right. I kept the bed warm for you.
I bet you did. I did too.
Slept like a starfish.
It was. I wish I could, but there was that injury in craft class. Didn't go over too well. Real quick update for anybody who's watching the stream or you haven't watched the stream and you're just listening to the podcast. So, real quick, ladies, I'll tell you what happened. I was doing a simple warm-up. The warm-up was groin kick, back kick, right? So, groin kick, back kick. I'm starting to find my rhythm. Groin kick, back kick. It's all coming back to me. Groin kick, back kick. I'm feeling good. Groin kick, back kick, pop!
Oh!
And the pop that I heard, that I felt, was apparently so loud, the guy holding the bag heard it. And I was not feeling good.
Wrong answer!
Really, that pop in the back of the leg. From what Kevin Robertson, which by the way I've just gotten in touch with Kevin Robertson, he is doing well.
Yes. Well, he injured himself.
He injured himself pretty badly. Yeah.
Far more badly than you.
Far more badly than me. But he said, "Oh, it sounds like you just stretched a hammy."
Yeah.
So
that's what we talked to Piper J. Drake, and she was like, "Well, if he could walk." It wasn't an ACL or anything like that.
I mean, if I was still limping today, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to a doctor.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to take a week off from class. I'm still able to move my leg. I'm still able to walk around. On certain angles, though, the hamstring reminds me. Yeah, I'm still here. So
I don't know if I ever told you this, but I did actually hurt my hamstring once, like really badly. Like I couldn't walk. And I had to go and get physiotherapy.
Jeez. No, you never told me about this.
They did
When did you learn about your wife?
Yeah. Back in the day when I was a librarian, man, those were tough days. Tough place to work, a library.
Shit just got real.
Indeed. And they gave me. Yeah, it was. I almost missed out on a drinking session because I had to hobble. But luckily,
Yeah.
Y'all jokers must be crazy.
You do not miss a drinking session
with librarians.
The stories you've told me.
Yes.
I mean,
well,
damn.
I said almost. They brought the drink to me, so that's good.
Nice.
And
good
they actually presented it, in information. Don't mess with those librarians. They're organized. They're organized. Okay, so
So that's what you did on your holidays. Oh, you slipped down the stairs as well.
Man, it was the worst. I pulled a hamstring, slipping down the stairs.
You bopped your head.
I was bopping my head on that shelf behind Pip. I was dropping coffee mugs. I was a freaking mess.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you're home.
I did actually say to the people at Smoky, I listed off the things you did, and they were like, "You got to get home."
He needs you.
Yeah, he can't operate normally anymore.
Have I got your attention now?
That was all before Wednesday. Too.
Yeah,
I
It
know.
was all
I'm a freaking mess.
3 days.
Yeah. But anyway, real quick shout out though to MK Backstrom. It turns out, small world. Friend of the show, sister from another Mister, Heather Von St. James. She apparently is one of MK's biggest fans.
Aww.
And she's so like, wait a minute, you know MK?
Yeah.
I love her blog.
We know all the best people.
All the best people. Yeah, all the best people. So there you go.
You're welcome. Shut up.
So yeah, it was so watching the two of them talk.
I went to the Waffle House with MK.
Yeah.
No
So
big.
let's talk about that. What? How would you describe your experience at the Waffle House?
God, you're weird.
as MK pointed out, everything was very beige. There was beige waffles,
was
beige
it
eggs. The eggs were kind of beige too.
And you don't even like eggs.
But I will say the one thing that we did experience as we were sitting there, behind us, this lady goes, "Did I hear y'all right? Is this all y'all's first time at the Waffle House?" And they get talking. This woman's from Alabama. MK is from Alabama. They start talking about the places that they know in common in Alabama. And I was like, okay, I see why she likes it here. But the food was, good drunk food. That would be what I would recommend.
Yeah. Oh,
If
yeah.
if you'd had like one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant food.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what. Well, I can talk real quick about what I was working on, then we can segue into the Smoky experience. So I just got sitting in my email box my first editorial notes from Dope.
Oh,
So
that's
Dope-
cool.
so-
You
so
put
yeah.
down a deposit?
No, she's gonna.
She's a trusting person.
She's a trusting person. Apparently,
I always get a deposit of at least 50%.
but it's sitting
Up front.
sitting in my inbox, and I'm like, okay.
Is it like a portion of them?
No, it's the whole thing.
Jeez.
And well, it's our first preliminary notes,
Okay.
and I think we're gonna get another pass, and then that's when
The
payments and things like
Bing, 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 bing.
right. And what we're doing is what she did say she liked it, so that's good. She read it twice. So at least she didn't read once and go, "Oh, this is poo." I got to talk to the guy. She read it twice. She does say there's a disconnect between the beginning and the end. I was expecting that.
Did she say anything about it being in genre?
I didn't get that far. I just read the opening and I said, okay, I got to set this aside for another time because we got to record a podcast. And we got to record a podcast because, quite honestly, I'd convinced myself we had recorded a shared desk. And I just hadn't gotten around to editing it. Turns out we haven't recorded a shared desk since the last time we had a guest in here, which was Tim. So, Katie, you're now in the hot seat. Now, Katie, this is your fourth or fifth Smoky.
Fifth.
This is your fifth Smoky.
I'm one behind you guys.
That's right.
Well, no, because Tease hasn't been to 2 now. So.
Right. So you're actually one ahead of me, but you're
behind
one behind Pip. So we actually complete the set 4, 5, 6. So talk a little bit about the Smoky experience, Smoky Writers Retreat. What is it, Katie?
It's words and food and booze and hot tubs.
In the simplest. You're good with words. Anybody
I'm
ever tell
so
you that?
Good. Yeah, it's like I'm a writer or
Fantastic.
something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Oh no! Finish your tweet. That's fine. Just give us a second.
Yeah. She has somebody to talk to.
I'm
Anyway.
concise. No.
Oh, you disconnected her there, T. Don't do that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So imagine that you have a McMansion in the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Made of logs.
I'm not sure actually.
Fake logs, at least?
Logs.
Looks like it's made of logs.
Yeah, I don't think it is though. And then you take 20-ish writers and you pile them all in. And for most of the day, it is monastic silence and hard work.
It really is.
It really is though. But,
It's like walking into the cathedral, really.
Yeah.
but like actually, which is one
Yeah.
of the things that I really value about Smoky,
Right.
is that the focus remains on productivity during the day.
During the day.
And then at night,
The lid comes off.
So let's talk about, have you done other writing retreats? Or is Smoky the only one that you do?
Smoke is the only one I do.
Right, okay. The reason I ask about that is I know we've talked with other writers on this podcast. We mentioned writers' retreats, and we talk about Smoky, and it's one of the reasons why I think, well, it's one of 2 reasons. We're talking about the second reason in a later segment. But one of the big reasons that people want to get into the Smoky Writers' Retreat is the amount of productivity.
Yeah.
And not just productivity, but accountability. That happens in the Smoky Writers experience. I mean, can you expound on that? Can you talk a little about like how does it all work?
So like kind of day in the life?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, day in the life.
Okay, so you wake up. I usually woke up like 8:15.
Depends on how much alcohol anyone's had the night before.
Or if
Yeah.
you're part of Smoky Walkers.
That's true.
If you're part of Smoky Walkers, you're up at 7:30, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm not into
No,
that.
neither of us did that.
So
Okay.
I would wake up.
Tim and Claire carried on.
They carried the torch.
There you go.
Yeah, so breakfast is just continental, serve yourself. So you kind of ease into the morning. There's people to talk to. there's lots of coffee, and then you go work. So it's a giant McMansion, so there's lots of little nooks and crannies, and people tend to carve out their spot.
Yeah.
And it's their spot. And because we've been in the same cabin for 3 years now,
We know where the spots are.
you know where your spot
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
and most people tend to keep the same one. And then we work from like 9 till 1-ish. And I was doing short fiction.
Okay.
So for me, I'd kind of take from 9 till maybe 11-ish
Yeah.
to plan the story and the characters and everything. Because I'd have a vague idea of what I wanted to do, but not enough to just sit down and start going.
Then break for lunch.
So like
Yeah.
at about 11, I'd try to be starting to draft and then break for lunch and then go back to it. At, I don't know, 3, a list would appear in the kitchen of reading locations because we had readings every night, and this part of the accountability.
Yep.
So you'd sign up for a different reading location, and then technically readings were at 6. I usually finished around 5, and
Right.
then relaxed until readings.
I saw the picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot of people saw it. It was a good
Canadian,
photo.
she loves her hot tubs.
Yeah, there you go.
Tim took that photo.
Nice,
Tim.
nice picture.
Tim.
Link in the
Yes.
shows. Tim's good people. Anyway,
Yeah, so I'd get a beer. I'd have some Katie time.
there you go.
And then at 6, readings happen.
Right.
So everyone reads 10 minutes of something they wrote that day. So the point is that it's supposed to be raw, and it's supposed to be unedited, because we're all supposed to be in the same boat.
Right.
There's no critiques. There's no commentary. It's just, hey, I wrote enough to fill a 10-minute reading.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I like, too, is that it's also not competitive in terms of, like, word count.
And then let's say 7 o'clock, dinner happens. And then what happens after dinner?
The lid comes off,
And
and the jars come out.
Can I get a hell yeah?
So you're saying that people drink alcohol and
Apparently so. Apparently, I've
my
heard.
goodness.
I got.
There's hot tubbing.
There's hot tubbing. There's good conversations. There's drunken conversations.
If Alex is there, there should be good cigars.
There's crying. As Alex said, every week it's not just one person that breaks down crying. They have like really profound writers don't get to talk to writers a lot, generally speaking, especially in this intense situation.
Yeah, it's like a creative pressure cooker.
Yeah, it's like a creative pressure cooker, and sometimes there's crying, and that's
like,
cool.
in a good way.
It's
crying.
It's good crying.
Like
It's
release
power
crying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, it's
Yeah.
happy crying or
I-
like
I'm not-
connection crying.
I'm
One of
not,
the things-
I'm not afraid to admit it.
Right.
I got it out of the way. I got to the I Love You Man stage on like Sunday night.
Yeah. But then again,
Thanks to Appalachian Sippin' Cream.
there we go.
If you want
Not a
tears,
sponsor.
they're in a bottle and they taste like chocolate.
There you go. So I got a quick story about that. I remember Tim and I on the first day of last year's Smoky, we got a jar of that, and we said, you know what, we should use this. We should Hemingway our coffee. And he looked at me. He was like, "What are you talking about, Hemingway our coffee?" I said, live like Hemingway.
Booze
Let's
it up.
Booze it up. And he's like, "Oh, I like that idea." So we poured some of this chocolate sipping cream into our coffee the next. This is the morning before Smoky really started. We both took a sip of the coffee and we both looked at each other and we were like, if we drink this, we will get nothing done. I mean, you could not taste the alcohol. It was dangerous. And we said no.
And lest you all think that this just devolves into debauchery.
It does.
It does. But it's still productive.
Controlled debauchery.
It's still productive the next day. And,
Yeah.
and something I commented on this year is like, I have never actually been hungover at Smoky.
I have. So,
There
okay.
have been a few people,
Yes.
present company included, that have been hungover after a day at Smoky, but then the next day and the day afters, we tended to pace ourselves
Well,
after that.
I found I got drunk on Sunday night, and then I was like, I can't do that again. So I stopped doing
I'm
it.
a lot more conscientious when I'm at Smoky about spreading my drinking over
Yes.
many, many hours or alternating
Right.
with pop and water because I know I have to work the next day.
Right.
And I can't
Right.
do 5,000 words if I'm hungover.
Right.
No.
And Alex will be disappointed if I'm hungover and I'm not working.
We do not want to disappoint Alex. That's
Alex-
entire the reason.
Alex will boot you from the island.
Oh, if you don't produce.
Oh yeah, that's part of the accountability. thing.
Yeah.
In a scary way, like they're standing over you with a whip. But
No.
But like if you
If you get to the end and you haven't produced anything.
Something.
anything or like you don't
We had that happen-
you can't
yeah.
participate in the readings,
Yes, we
then
had one person.
We had that happen once, and then we had
And
another
then-
one. We had another person apparently this year that basically bailed on the whole thing and just expected to just walk away from it scot-free. And it's like, no, that doesn't work that way.
No, there is accountability to Alex as well, because they're putting on this whole event and putting a lot of effort into it.
A lot of effort.
And you got to step up to the plate.
Right. And that's part of the appeal.
That's why we paid for you to be there, because Alex was like, well, I can't put another person in your in your room.
No, I'm going to hold that spot.
Unless it's like David Bowie, then you can totally put them.
Or Idris Elba.
I have a list. I'll give you Alex.
Mahershala Ali. I think he's joined that list after watching True Detective season 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, in all fairness, I mean, it's stepping up and it's making a commitment. And that is one of the things that I've heard other authors talk about with writing retreats. They plan all these activities, and it's like and it's like a good example is the writing excuses the writing excuses cruise, which people have been twisting our arms to go to that. And my thought is, I'll go to it when we get the invitation to present. Because if I'm presenting, fine, I can justify going. But then when I saw some of the agenda of what people are doing, I'm like, when is anybody writing?
They do have panels.
They have panels, but then there's this sort of like nebulous. Well, some people are writing, some people aren't. I'm like, then it's not really a writing retreat, now is it?
Oh, well, no, but it's not counted as a writing retreat. It's a writing like seminar.
But I've
like
seen
a floating con.
Yeah, it's like a con.
But
more.
I've also seen it where writing retreats do that. They do something similar to writing excuses, where they have this agenda of all these group activities to do, and I'm sitting there going, well, when you're writing.
We don't really do group activities at Smoky, apart from drinking and hot tubbing.
One day.
Wednesday is usually.
Did you go anywhere? You didn't.
I went into Seaverville with
That's right.
Asa, and we saw the Dolly Parton statue, and we grabbed some.
All hail Dolly.
All hail Dolly.
Grabbed some pulled pork, and then we came back to the cabin because we wanted to keep writing.
And you see, that's the beautiful thing, because the one day vacay, if you will, the one day vacay happened because there was I think it was year 4 we did that, because in year 3 it was like Friday and we were all like fighting off that Shining vibe, like Jack Nicholson just typing over and over again, all work and no play.
I think it is a good idea to have some break.
Yeah.
No, I think that time was that the time one time we were snowed in and we couldn't get down off the mountain.
That was my first time, so your second
so
time.
It was a year I wasn't there.
The next year I feel like we did do something. And
yeah, you're thinking of year 1. I don't think we didn't break in year 1.
No, we didn't break it all in year 1. We didn't break it all in year 2. And year 3, we still didn't break. But I remember in year 3, near like around Friday, there were some people who were really, really tense. And then on year 4, we said, you know what, we're going to take a break and go into town. And Alex really thought about that and said, I think we all need a break. So he basically said,
I think it's nice to have an option to go.
Yeah. And it was an option. Some people still worked. Some people took the break, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because it allows you to power down for a little bit.
You mean you can go down to like you did for Seaverville and just do a little break.
We were gone for like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
right.
But it was an hour and a half outside the cabin, and that was all we needed.
Yes.
And for some people, that break could include just taking a walk. But I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Smoky is that you're surrounded by the mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just a nice getaway, but it's still very productive.
Holy shit! Yeah.
So yeah, so you were working on short stories. How many short stories did you crank out?
I did 5 short stories and 1 flash piece over 5 writing days. Oh, also on the Wednesday I did novel rewrites, because. For me, Smoky time is Katie time.
Yeah. Smoky time is Katie
time.
You don't get to interrupt that.
Yeah. That's basically the conversation I had with my agent. I was like, look, I'm going on this thing. I know there's rewrites. You want them soon. But Smoky time is Katie time.
Gangsta.
So, what about you, Pip? What did you work on?
I worked on 2 new things, 2 3-chapter totally new projects.
Okay.
So I didn't get as much word count as I wanted to do, but than I have previous years. But as I said to Katie, I was like, well, I was making up totally new things. I was coming up with new characters, new worlds, new rules, everything.
And That's why I like not using word count as a measure
Yeah,
of productivity.
because I felt
Right.
at the beginning I was like, oh, I'm not getting as many words out, but then I'm like, no, I'm
Doing
coming
just
away.
as much work, if not more.
I'm coming away with something that I didn't, two things that I didn't have before. So I wrote what is delightfully being titled right now, Ride or Die, which is a secondary world chase book, I guess. It's two characters loosely based on a couple of dames we know, who are a couple of badasses who who are working for a criminal organization run by someone that looks remarkably like Katie. She's the mob boss. Do not cross her, or you'll end up in the river.
Don't be fooled by the
No.
kind
Well,
face
I
of the
actually
sweet
say in
smile.
that, I'm like, she puts on this waffish exterior, and those that have fallen for it have lived to regret it. They died.
Oh my
So and they end up rescuing this young girl who's wanted by the authorities and the mob boss and various other people. And so I got 3 pretty solid chapters. I need to tweak a little bit. I talked to Alex about doing a because their book series deals with racing, and Alex is very into Formula One.
Formula One.
So I talked to them about what I wanted to tweak it up a bit, and so after talking to them, I'm like, I've got to go back and do a little bit. It's not finished, but it's pretty close to finished. I discovered the car is actually alive. It's a conscious car.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So that was idea number 2?
That was idea number 1. I started that one.
Oh, okay.
And then idea number 2 is still got a little more nebulous, but it is a rebellion story set in a world where no one can live on the land. They're all living in the air, or they're living on sea, out in the sea.
I remember you and I were talking about
this. And so they discover this artifact, and the government wants to suppress it, and so they try and stop this. It's got shades of Firefly. There's also 2 dames in that one, because I'm writing about 2 old ladies who do badass shit. Work, indeed. And so the government tries to kill them to suppress this find that they have, and they go on the run and they become revolutionaries.
Got it.
That's still becoming a bit more nebulous, because at the moment it's kind of leaning towards being a post-apocalyptic this world.
Right.
And then I'm not quite sure whether it should end up being a secondary world post-apocalyptic.
Right.
So I'm actually going to leave that nebulous, and then I can easily change it to be something else. But at the moment, it's Earth.
Did you happen to get the 3rd idea out, or are you?
There were only 2 ideas.
There were only 2 ideas.
Two 3 chapters thingies.
Oh, you. So you basically met your goal.
I did what I wanted to do.
Nice.
And I wanted to do a short story, like a complete short story every day that we were writing.
And you did.
And it did.
Right.
So yeah, it was. It was, and there was a really nice vibe in the cabin. I mean, the cabin. Smoky is always great. I've never had a Smoky experience where I've gone like, why did I bother with this?
Why am I here?
I've never had one of those. But this, for some reason, maybe it was the fact that we were in a cabin. This was our 3rd year in the same cabin, so we were like a little bit more chill. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just.
Oh, there was a combination. There were a few people that didn't turn up that had been there last year that didn't turn up, and then we had some new people come in, and they were all cool and great and interesting. We had more non-fiction people this year, T.
Really?
Yeah, we
had
had
3.
Wow.
3 non-fiction people. So I got
Any ideas what they were working on?
An essay collection.
I think 2 of them were working on essay collections. One of them was doing
like a business memoir kind of.
Yes, a business memoir, and the 2 others were one was obviously MK is doing books about motherhood and dealing, always amazing stuff from her.
Yeah.
And then a new lady was Janelle is doing something about the intersection between motherhood and feminism and that sort of thing, which was also a collection of
really
a collection of stuff, which is really good.
Fascinating,
So that's something else about Smoky, is that it is not exclusively spec fic.
No,
it's
just writers.
I don't even know if spec fic's in the majority anymore, because we've got some romance authors.
We got romance authors.
We got
if I get
Nonfiction folk.
if I land at home for dope,
Then you'll be.
I'll be the first thriller author. I'll be the second thriller author next to Tim Dodge, because Tim specializes in thrillers.
Yes, he's doing a paranormal investigation kind of novel as well.
I'm like 2 breaths away from being canlit.
There you go.
So I think it's slightly
It's diverse.
It's diverse.
Yeah.
It's got more diverse this
Yeah.
year, which is nice because I enjoyed hearing other people's.
So as you hear chat, and as you hear on the podcast, and we've talked about Smoky before. We've talked about the booze before. We've talked about, but we always come back to the reason why we go to Smoky. I'm just gonna pause and let Pip do her
40 proof, baby. I better not drink too much. Captain Kirk's trying to get me drunk.
Captain Kirk, and he'll have
That's
his
his
way
modus
with you.
operandi,
My
really.
ear is
I was
already
gonna say.
broken.
Oh no!
You can always
we'll
go find
fix that
another one.
afterwards. But it's productivity that keeps bringing us back. And,
Yes.
You know, I mean, that was where
productivity and a sense of community.
Yeah, the
camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
I think would be a better word for it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I really enjoy. I mean, we go to conventions and stuff, and conventions is a great way to meet people and talk to them.
Conventions is more about community.
Yeah, but there's just you can just be more relaxed.
Yeah.
And have more private conversations
Because it's a week, and also you're living with them
yeah.
for a week. And also, the productivity makes all the difference for me.
And very supportive people. We're all supportive of each other.
So this is one of the big reasons that people continue to come back to the Smoky Writers Retreat. But the other one we're going to talk about right now.
Overcooked on the bottom, crispy as fuck, and it looks like Gandhi's flip-flop. What a shame.
What the fuck did you put in that sauce?
You're about as fucking consistent as pigeon shit on Trafalgar Square. Get it out of my kitchen!
We don't play that bumper enough.
Gordon Ramsay shows are my guilty pleasure.
It's hard not to have a guilty pleasure with Gordon Ramsay. So this is our in the kitchen segment where we talk about what we're getting up to in the kitchen. Since Blue Apron, I will say this: since we joined Blue Apron through one of the Smoky writers, Lauren Scribe Harris, friend of the show again, we've gotten a lot more confident about the cooking, and I'll talk about what I came up with today. But the food was actually one of the big draws for a couple of the authors to join the Smoky Writers Retreat.
Yeah. Because I think in a lot of writing retreats they have
a kitchen
and food available, but generally speaking, the majority of writing retreats, you look after yourself. You either, cook yourself or you go get stuff or whatever.
Right.
But Smokey's big draw is our cooks.
We usually have 2, in some cases
this year
3
3
cooks. And these cooks basically take care of us all weekend. Oh, I'm sorry, all week.
Except for Wednesday. Everybody gets a day off on Wednesday. But believe me, there were enough leftovers that no one went hungry on Wednesday.
Right. And usually there's usually a takeaway dish that everybody raves about. So I'm going to start with Pip, then I'll go to Katie. Pip, what was your takeaway dish this year?
Renee said that this was never going to appear in another Smoky because it was too much. It was too difficult. But I like the beef Wellingtons. They made beef Wellingtons this year with mushrooms.
Wow!
And they were really
that is not an
good.
easy feat.
No, that's exactly why I don't think it's never gonna appear again. But it was really good.
There was a dish they made. I think it was in year 3. Yeah, it was year 3 because I remember we were at that one terrific cabin.
Oh, the Twin Cedars.
The Twin Cedars, the one that burned down sadly. But it was. I think it was homemade pierogies. But the thing was, we didn't have dinner until like 9:30 because the prep was so freaking long. Yeah. That is not a slam.
Oh no,
on our chefs.
You try cooking for 20 people.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I remember one time saying something like, and I don't know why the minute the words left my lips, well, I really don't like shrimp, and I said it in front of Renee, and I was like, "You ass!" I was just, oh man.
I really don't like steampunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying that in front of us is a bit like a bit of a dick mood.
Pretty much. But you know what? And then Renee gave me a look and I said, but I'm having it anyway because you've worked on it and I will enjoy it. And guess what I did? I did.
You
I
love
don't
the
like
shrimp.
shrimp, but
You
man,
love the shrimp.
I love
Well-
I love Renee's shrimp. Thank you
Well,
very much.
when we started off, Alex pointed out that say nice things.
But not weird things. Like, I don't normally like this.
But I like this.
But I like this.
Just say nice things. This is great. This is delicious.
Yeah, but the one thing
I'm
you-
loving this.
Yeah, but the one thing you could say, I don't normally like this, but I love this, is Renee's Brussels sprouts. She put some crack on that Brussels
She did
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts this
Oh,
year.
her Brussels sprouts are bay.
Second night in.
Oh, can I put another? Can I put another one? There was
Yeah,
some,
top
she,
two, top
she
two.
Did, she did some beets, man, and you know I love my beets.
Oh, I know you love your beets.
I love the beets.
No, I'm not talking about throwing down the beets. Not these beets. Not these beets. We're talking about beets like you would
Beetroot.
see in a beetroot, like you would see on a
With-
good, solid New Zealand burger.
Did you have the beets?
Yeah, I had some of them.
She doesn't.
Did you
love the
did you
beets as
have
much
those
as
sick
us.
beets? Did you get into those sick beets?
I had some of those sick
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So those were your two takeaways.
Yes, and the beets came with pecans.
Man, I miss Smoky. All right, Katie, over to you. So what were your two favorite dishes of the week?
Oh, I have to pick two.
Yeah, two. Pick
There's
two.
so many.
It's like you're in Panera.
Well, I'm a fan of the classic Reuben.
The Reuben keeps coming back.
And
Hey, you're done. You're done.
butternut squash
Quiet out of
soup.
you. Yeah.
Reuben's and butternut squash soup is delightful and a
That
real
is-
favorite.
That has been a staple
Since one?
since one.
Everyone loves it because it's the best.
It's
Yes.
yeah. Duh.
Right. And then also, Renee made this amazing beef stew.
Oh, that's right.
It was so good.
And she made poutine.
Yes, because she made poutine, but I couldn't have the poutine because it has
Cheese
cheese curds,
curds,
and
no.
I don't do.
I ate the
lactose.
cheese curds for her.
I just
couldn't.
had a lot of beef stew.
Yeah, the beef stew
I
was
just had a lot of beef
amazing.
stew, and it was really good.
And yeah, so chat, just so you know, Katie does not do the cheese. She does not do the dairy,
Or eggs.
which got us into trouble at the King's Feast many years ago. And I bring this up because Facebook, as it's been doing, has been bringing up memories.
Yeah.
And I got this great picture. I'm not going to show it on chat, but I will show it to you, Katie. It was a picture that they basically said this memory happened like 4 years. I think it was 4 years ago. And it was a great shot. I forgot how great that shot is.
That's such a good picture.
It's okay. I'll show you, Chad. It's a picture of Katie with my late dad, and
Oh my God, you guys were so lit
we
after
got
that.
lit after that. And the
You
thing
were
was,
hammered.
Katie was the first one to go
well,
because
I mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
first she's wee to begin with. But the thing was that the appetizers was a cheese platter. So she said, "Well, I'm going to sit back on the cheese platter."
But I'm going to
I'm
drink the
just
beer.
gonna drink this like 10% beer. That's
Yeah.
fine.
No,
on
no.
an empty stomach.
Very close. We started with a 9% beer. We started with Midas Touch, and we were filling them in steins this tall. Then they ran out of Midas Touch. They said, well, we'll just go to another ancient ale. What do we have? Oh, we've got Chateau Jahau. That's 10%. We were throwing these back, and Katie was just annihilated. We were all
We
all three
did
of us
record a
were lit.
podcast after that.
And we recorded
and
a
then
podcast.
We came home and I was like, we should do a podcast.
And this was before the days of Twitch.
and drink another beer.
and we
And
did.
she was like, yeah, we should.
and
we
I was
should.
the only undrunk person.
She was the DP, the designated podcaster. It was a good
Yes.
time. It was a
What?
good time.
No, you two thought it was a good time.
I swear that podcast actually did make it out. The sad thing, though, is that night's not even in my top 5 anymore.
I know. I've heard. So
well,
I've
for
heard.
drunkenness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good time nonetheless.
It was a fun time.
So the nice thing is I have a contribution. So
Ah.
after all this great food
You were making
that
your
the
own.
two of you had, you came home to me, and all I was told was
Meat.
you need to smoke the meats, and I was told ribs and chicken, and these ladies got ribs, and these ladies got chicken, and then as I'm doing the shopping, I saw some lamb.
Ah.
And I said, okay, I'm going to do something that, because Pip isn't here to stop me, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to invest in some lamb and I'm going to make some smoked lamb.
It's a trap!
It is a trap. It is a trap. But man, even Pip was hesitant to say this worked.
You know the reason that it is that you've got to get lamb pink in the middle, right?
And
it's hard to do in the
You're-
smoker to
you're
be
right.
that
You're right.
precise.
But the thing was, so the guy that I was watching, he had a 5 pound, boneless leg of lamb, and he said, do not. Oh yeah, he said 5 pounds, and he kept it in there for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that's what got it medium rare. So I said, okay, this one's 2.5 pounds. So I'm gonna put it in for about 2 hours. It was still
good. It
was
wasn't.
still
It
good,
hadn't
but
gone.
it
hadn't gone well done.
no, but it had gone medium as opposed to medium rare.
Yeah.
But the rubs that I used. Okay, so let's talk about that. The rubs that I used. For the lamb, it was from the Tea and Spice Exchange, and it was just their lamb rub. And I'm not sure what the base was on that, but holy
Probably
Hannah,
something like rosemary, I'm betting.
Because
Because rosemary is very popular
yeah,
with lamb.
rosemary works with lamb, and I was very happy with the way that turned out. The second thing I made was let's see, it was pork ribs with Crossroads rub from Dizzy Pig.
Ah.
And that was one that I'm digging through, and I was like,
We got a few rubs.
Here's spice. So I basically, while these ladies were on the road, I went on ahead and I reorganized our spice rack, and now there's one rack that is nothing but Dizzy Pig stuff. Because the second one was the whole chicken, which was again spatchcocked. That does not
what you think it means.
does not mean what you think it
They
means.
cut out the spine.
Just go on ahead. Yeah. Look it up. It's kind of gross and also kind of cool. I held the spine and I went, finish him. And I understand now why Pip always does that. I thought Pip, come on, grow up. And then I did it. And I'm like,
It's a
oh yeah, I've got to
barbarian
do that.
thing.
Finish him. And then the last one was the chicken with Raging River rub. Usually we go with something else, but I tried Raging River this time, and that was also from Dizzy Pig.
So what did I bring you back from Tennessee?
You brought me some more, like you brought me all kinds of smoked salt.
Yes, I brought you a garlic salt.
You brought me
roasted garlic.
You brought me a roasted black garlic salt, my darling.
That's right.
I remember. And I'm just like, oh, baby, you do love me.
Seriously, Lana, call Kenny Loggins because you're in the danger zone.
We are in the danger zone.
I spent a bit of money at the Tea
Yeah,
and Spice
yeah.
Exchange.
That, and also, man, you discovered a place.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I know we're kind of deviating
This is
from
my
food.
day off. You went to see Dolly.
On her day off, Pip goes to a place called
Alcatraz East.
No.
I did. Well, that's why I went there originally.
Yeah. But the discovery you made was
Oh,
Kryptonite Character.
Kryptonite Character Store.
Yeah.
And it is online.
Yeah.
I was like walking. There's a place called The Island, which is behind Alcatraz East, and it's got a Paula Deen restaurant. So that gives you a sort of a slight.
Everything's made with lard.
Everything's made with lard. It's got Old Smokies there, of course.
Old Smokies is
Everywhere. And I was just sort of walking around the back area, and I turned and I saw this word kryptonite, and I was like, huh? And then I was like, oh, I'm going to wander in there, and then it was just like Funko Pops for like 2 rows.
And then this popped in your head.
It's a trap!
Because all of a sudden I started getting photographs of, do you have this one? Do you have this one? Do you have this one? Do you
My
have this one?
God. I got myself a Wonder Woman purse there
Yep.
because they had a rack of really cool purses
Nice.
and bags. And I sent Lauren Scribe Harris a picture of the Harry Potter one. And she said, I don't need to know this place exists. They had all the T-shirts, everything. And I was like, I dropped like 150 in there.
That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it.
America.
And it's worked out pretty well so far.
Seriously, I picked up the stuff and I was heading towards the checkout, and that's when I saw the little Destiny keychain,
Yep.
and I was like, yoink!
Yep. Yep.
Mine.
Yep.
Don't feel bad. Apparently, a group of like 5 or 6 people the day before the retreat dropped like $500 at one of the distilleries.
Oh, yes!
Wow, damn.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Wow.
Some merch, not just alcohol. Some
In
merch.
fact,
Oh, the
I know-
merch. Okay, I could see that.
but
Yeah.
like a lot of alcohol. Like probably half of it was alcohol.
Piper got one of the shirt. I'm sorry, honey, I didn't bring her back a shirt.
No, I told you I was going to go and I was going to get a shirt, but I wanted to make sure that it fit me. It's such,
Yeah,
such
you have
a-
to go next year.
Yeah.
But I did not pay
I
for this
will.
Appalachian sipping cream. Thanks, Smokies. A lot of people flying at the end. We have people in Seattle and Canada and Boston and California. So they can't take Appalachian sipping cream with them on the flight. So
Yeah, that hurt.
But on the plus side, people who are driving could just load that shit up.
Alcohol back. I'm taking a mason jar of.
Great sword attack. Embiggened.
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry,
bringing
that was a slip. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm bringing some apple pie moonshine back for my cat sitter.
Ooh,
And actually,
nice.
the last time I came back from Smoky, I'm going through customs.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you have anything to declare? I'm like, yes, I have 750 milliliters of moonshine. And the customs guy looks at me and he's like, is that stuff good?
But if this information ever becomes a problem, I will hold you personally responsible.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not gonna be the one drinking this, so whatevs. But I'm
Actually-
like, I like that is the question.
I think Mike took the apple pie moonshine, and was it Mike?
Not my apple pie moonshine.
No, there was another bottle of it.
Well,
I bought another bottle of it.
that's fine.
And I said, you need
Bottle.
to take
You mean jar? The
a
mason
jar of Appalachian
Yeah.
Jar of
moonshine.
Jar of moonshine, everybody.
I love these jars as well. They're great for drinking out of.
Yeah. Afterwards,
After you've drunk them.
Yeah, after we've drunk them, we soak them out and we use them as mason.
Mason
we
jars.
use them as actual drinking glasses. And some people go, really? And I'm like, look, if you want to ever measure how much water you're drinking
on
per
the
day,
side,
it's got
how
on the
many-
side, so you're set.
How much
man.
you're drinking?
set.
But as I suggested, Starla figured this one out. You put a little apple pie moonshine just to zhuzh up your cider.
Oh yeah. Bada bing.
That's good stuff.
Bada bing.
So yes, highly recommended moonshine.
So in closing, you left good food, and I don't mind bragging, you came home to good food.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm pretty.
We're
pleased with the
eating
way
well.
things-
We're eating well.
We're eating well. So Katie, where I should have introduced you properly. Award-winning author and Canadian rising star, KT Brisky. What is next for you? Where are you headed next?
Travel-wise,
Yeah.
my next thing is Worldcon in Dublin.
She's going overseas.
Oh, you go. All right, lie to tie to tiddly tie piddly pool.
Oh, they'll love it. Do that when you go there, Katie. They'll love it.
They'll love
I
it.
have been to Dublin before.
I know, but don't go lie, die, tiddly tie.
Actually,
Do not mention Lucky Charms.
I was just about to say, if you really want to endear yourself to the Irish people, go into any Irish pub late at night and go, pardon me, has anyone seen me Lucky Charms? They're magically delicious. They'll give you hugs till the end of the
I'm sure
More like a
they
kicking.
will. It will be. They'll hug me around my neck.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
right.
much.
Until you pass out.
That's how much they'll love me. Yes, I'm doing Dublin and CanCon in
Oh,
October
nice.
in
CanCon.
Ottawa, Canada.
All right.
But before any of that, I need to work on novel rewrites. So I'm going. Yay! No, I'm actually super excited. This book
It is, yeah.
is a great deal of fun. So I'm going to have those done and off to my agent very soon.
Excellent. Now, as for the two of us, we actually
This month we're going to California.
Yeah, we're going to California to Clockwork Alchemy.
Yay, we're the guests of honor.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked about it. This will be the first time in a
A long time since we've been to a California convention.
they're gonna be some familiar faces coming to see us. I know that Christina, who has been our biggest advocate, shall
Yes.
we say? She's been our biggest advocate. She's been trying to get us into this event for a long time. And finally, Clockwork Alchemy extended the invite. We can't wait to get there. We're very
We're
excited.
going to have a table. We're going to be selling books.
Yeah, one of the things that I did want to say though is that Pip and I both, and we're going to probably do the next show will probably be about the importance of website maintenance. We
went in there.
We went in just expecting to do a nip tuck.
Oh, we needed a machete.
Man, we went in.
The weeds had grown up.
Boy, it was nasty.
No.
But the good news is that I've had a chance to actually update the appearances page on my blog. So you can now go
Huzzah.
to tmorris.com. That's TEMORRIS.com. Shit's finally updated. And on top of all that, but now the thing I need to update is blog content. I got to do some blog posts as well as edit this episode and the episode of Happy Hour from the Tower.
Things. There's lots of things.
But I did think we should go on ahead and just look ahead to some of the stuff that's going on. First off, there's Clockwork Alchemy. That's March 22nd through the 24th in Burlingame, California.
Mm-hmm.
In April, and I'm really stoked about this, in April, I do not have one. I do not have two. I have 4 panels at AwesomeCon.
Yeah.
And why do I have Williamsburg, Virginia? I need to finish that.
You need to fix your
I need
website.
to fix our website. April 26th to the 28th in beautiful Washington, D.C. It'll be
It's
me
a
and Nick
huge
Kelly.
con.
It's a ginormous con.
I don't know how many, it's like, not
It's-
Dragon Con size, but it's like, it's huge
big.
for this area.
It's
Tens of
huge.
thousands?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, first
Definitely.
off, I mean, if you were to see the guests, they're actually doing a mini at a TNG reunion. Will Wheaton's going to be there. Dorn's going to be there. Spiner's going to be there. I believe Denise Crosby's going to be there, and so is Marina Sirtis.
So when are your panels? Are they like Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
I have no idea. They haven't gotten that far yet, but the panels
the
are...
fact that you got accepted is pretty cool.
The fact that I got 4 panels accepted, but she was very excited by the fact when I told her that I was the author for Twitch for Dummies.
Nice.
And she was like, oh, we would love to have a panel about streaming. So Nick and I are doing a panel on podcasting, and then I'm doing a panel on streaming. I don't know if I'm doing the panel solo. I've invited other people to join me. But Nick could technically join with me because now we're streaming Happy Hour from the Tower on here as well. I've discovered this, Katie, about streaming. First off, Katie, welcome to your first stream.
Hey! Don't you feel exposed? I felt very exposed.
BS. I call bullshit on that because she took to this like, I mean, I get on here and I go, hey everybody, go easy on Pip. She's a little nervous about her first stream, and then she just gets up to the mic and says,
I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve.
I was quite drunk.
Yeah, she just lit up the stream, and people were like, we need to have Pip on more often. So now we do Pip Philippa's Freaky Friday, where we watch her do the moonwalking God of War.
Katie looks like she has 1 million books in her head from the look of her background.
Say what?
Oh, I have all the books.
Yes, that's right. Those are all her books,
Those
too.
are all her books.
Oh, my.
She's a prolific MFer. But anyway, so Awesome
But
Con.
actually, I am.
Yes, Awesome Con is happening April 26th to the 28th in Washington, D.C. That's going to be fixed by the time the podcast goes live. And then, of course, we've got Balticon 53, May 24th to the 27th in Baltimore, Maryland.
Where we're selling books.
And then I'm just going to give one more date because this is a pretty big deal. Pip and I are guests at Gen Con.
That's right. This is our first trip to Gen
August
Con.
1st to the 4th, and Kevin said that he was going to be back in Indianapolis
cool.
in time. So we are really, really
We're going to be on the
looking forward
writing
to
track.
Yep.
Melanie Meadows has got us on the writing track.
Yep.
We haven't quite find out what we're going to be doing, but we're going to be there.
We are
So
extremely...
that's several huge cons. And then we'll take a breath.
And thank you for the comment, by the way. Is it Pacifico?
Pacifico?
I hope I got that right. Thank you for hanging out with us in chat. We really do appreciate it. So, in closing, I think the best thing to do is to just say where you can find all of us. Katie, where can people find you online?
www.ktbrisky.com. It's KTBRYSKI.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
Ooh, but can I do my Twitter? And Twitter.
Yeah.
At KTBrisky.
there you go. KTBR.
It's KTBrisky everywhere. Just pick
Yeah.
your platform and plug that in. And
Including Instagram.
You'll find her.
On Instagram as well. Her Instagram rocks. And let's not forget, what is Guinness's?
yes, my cat Guinness.
Yeah. It's a fantastic.
It
is a fantastic Twitter stream. I swear to you, chat.
My cat can be found at Guinness is a cat.
Aww.
It's a lot of derpy photos and his
That
thoughts.
cat gives a great dirt face.
And also occasional life advice from Guinness.
Yes.
And the best part is whenever Guinness posts, most of the time Sebastian and Vi do reply, and occasionally the sleeping cat behind you will reply with a picture of himself in there as well.
He's been tweeting, I don't know, kind of sadly though, because I haven't been home.
There's
you got to
that.
get home so you can
And
tweet
of course,
happily.
and of course, we can find Pip. We can find you where online,
PJBallantine.com, Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences.com.
and you can find me at the aforementioned tmorris.com. You can also find me here on Twitch, and you can find me pretty much everywhere at either under T Monster or the T Monster. Links are back in tmorris.com. You can also find me on Untapped. You can find me there with Katie. That's where we rate beers. And remember, folks, the Share Desk is protected by a non-commercial, no derivative, share-alike United States 3.0 license. We ask you to stick around because we're going to do some extra content just for a little while longer. Exclusive content for people who like to talk with us in chat, and also we do this on the stream just to keep it lively and also to give people that little zhuzh of exclusive content.
The amuse-bouche.
Exactly. So on behalf of Katie, on behalf of Pip, thank you all for joining us in this stream. Enjoy the ride.
Catch you later.
See you next time.
And we're clear, but we're back on. Hey, everybody.
We're still here.
Whew.
I'm
gone, but-
still here.
So, your first stream, what'd you think? It's just like podcasting, only with video.
Basically, I tried to ignore the camera there. I really have a face for audio.
Oh,
So-
stop it. Stop that. Stop that.
We don't allow that sort
I
of
think our
behavior on
chat-
this stream.
I think our chat would beg to differ. The funny thing about us doing streams, I've noticed this about when we stream, we actually keep our shows shorter. I don't know how that happens, but our shows are actually shorter.
We tend not to try and ramble as much.
So you're aware of the all-seeing eye.
Yes,
We're aware of the all-seeing eye. I'm watching chat. Chat was very intimate tonight, which is fine.
It is a Monday night.
It's a Monday night. It's there's and also what I discovered as a nighttime streamer was that when I do Monday night, or when I did Monday nights, short streams, I rarely broke into double digits because, well, first off, bigger streamers are on
Mondays,
and it's also Monday nights. And it's a little more competitive now during the weekends. Pardon me. During the week, the good stuff. This West Coast IPA. During the weekends, though, people tend to watch the podcast a little more intently and stuff like that, and that's interesting. That's always that was interesting to watch the numbers kind of go. The weird thing was this morning, I don't know what I did. I don't know what Wheaties I was eating this morning, but this morning I was racking in some pretty decent numbers for me. Anytime I'm in double digits, I'm like, oh, this is a good day. But if I go into double digits and then I stay in double digits, I'm like, okay, this is a really good day. And so I'm it's one of those things where it was funny. I was listening to a streamer talk today about going full time. This was Z. He was talking about going full time, and he said, if you don't think it's stressful, it is.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, you think I'm just playing video games, but no. I'm playing video games. I'm watching my analytics. Some days I'm up, some days I'm down. Some days I'm up, some days I'm down, and
a lot of people look at what they're playing as well.
Yeah.
To play what people want to see.
I mean, Z is actually, he hasn't touched Destiny in 3 months.
Really?
He's been playing Sea of Thieves, and he asked me, he said, T, when do you get back in with me to play Sea of Thieves? And I told him, let me look at my schedule, because I couldn't say Tuesday, because tomorrow there's a big DLC that's dropping. And he even said, he's playing Sea of Thieves, but in his title it says, Season of the Drifter starting tomorrow. So
Rev 3 dude just said, Katie Brisky is in my chair.
Yes, she is.
But she was in it first.
It's technically my chair.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
She was there first.
I've been here the most.
Yes.
It depends on how he's saying it. Is he saying it, she's in my chair, or is she saying, she's in my chair? I think it's the second one. I think he's more excited
he's
by
got
the fact.
3 exclamation points, so I feel like that he's excited that you're there.
I think he's very excited.
Yeah.
I feel like a mob boss in this chair. I actually appeared.
No, you'd feel like a mob boss in that chair. That's the mob boss chair. This is the.
I appeared in 3 different stories.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So how did that happen? So what? I want to hear about this. I want to hear about how you appear in.
What does that mean?
In other words.
Well, T wants to know how he can appear in 3 stories.
No, this year, everybody.
It was the year of me.
Yeah, it was.
I started it. It was a trend. I started it. I was like,
Well, no, I just find it funny. It's like this year, everybody went to Smoky and said, "I need a villain. I'm gonna use Katie." Like, whoa, we're the only ones supposed to know about that black heart of yours.
I'm a villain in all of them, though.
I think you are.
I don't know.
A Rev 3 dude said it's the second one, so he's excited that you're in his chair. And turn Katie up a bit.
Fine.
He just did do that.
In Pips, I'm a mob boss. A wayfish mob boss.
A wayfish mob boss.
That everyone underestimates.
In Hughes,
to their detriment.
I'm a wayfish. Well, I'm an orc, but wayfish for an orc. Interpreter of
That's a little short for an orc.
Of a magical historic site.
That's funny.
But wayfish, but feisty. And in the last one, I am an androgynous, overly dramatic vampire of questionable intent.
Yes.
And that one didn't start as me, but then I heard the reading and was like, I feel
got more and more.
I was like, I feel personally attacked. And then it became me.
Oh, Rev3 Dude said, hashtag Wayfish Mob Boss. Hashtag Brisky
in
2020.
Yes!
I don't think she can run for president.
I
But
don't
at this
think she can.
stage, I will take anything.
I don't think that matters.
No.
Given the current
You know what?
state of your democracy.
I was just going to say, I believe it was Katie Brisky who said, "Who knew that the most powerful position in the United States politics is an entry level position?" Wow, and that's about as political as we're going to get tonight, chat. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Katie ended up in plenty of stories, and we.
Also, my swimsuit ended up in a story.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's a great little swimsuit. It's beefcake. So they do androgynous 1920 style swimwear.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're actually super cool. So I had one that I debuted at Smoky.
Yes.
And it got worked into someone's, although it was historically accurate.
Was that
for
the one
time.
you were? Was
No.
that the one you were wearing?
Not in that photo, no.
Oh, okay.
It's like a 1920.
It's like a 1920s.
Yeah.
I should have had 2 tiny barbells that I was lifting.
Yes.
Wearing this
Yes. She looked like she could have been on the boardwalk
funny.
lifting
That's
barbells.
That's funny.
Because she's the strongest waif in the world.
Honey, you don't have to yell.
It's a great swimsuit.
That's gonna pick you up.
She's the strongest waif in the world.
There you go.
It was great, and it also technically it was just the historical time period that the author was working with. But I choose to believe.
You choose to believe.
I think it was she. I didn't read you the bit where I'm still working on this scene, but the government official who turns up and is trying to orders them all to be killed.
Yeah.
Strangely wayfish.
It's those wayfish ones. You got to watch out for the wayfish ones. Apparently. Yeah. It was rough. It was rough watching you guys from afar.
I was more homesick this year than I have been.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Yes.
There's a reason for that. Which we can't go into super detail.
We're not going to go into super details.
But
we're
not.
Say, I have a special person.
She has a special
And I have a
person.
special cat.
Yeah.
And you want to see both of them.
Yeah.
Well, you will tomorrow.
And I have like my choir family, and like,
Yes.
I was like, oh man, I actually care about the people in my
Well,
life.
see,
now.
here's the thing, Katie. I can tell you about being torn, about having 2 places that have your heart.
Yeah.
And it is tough, but at the same time, it's cool that you have 2 whole places.
Yeah.
There's also that as I was saying earlier. I mean, I don't mind saying it. My previous marriage, my conventions and things that I was doing to get me out of the house, I would miss Serena like crazy. But it was for me a brief getaway. Now I get the brief getaways and I'm miserable. I went to All Things Open down in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I mean I even blunted the homesickness a bit by staying with
Scribe and Scribby.
with Scribe and Scribby. Of course, right now what I want to do for their and I don't mean this as a slam. I mean this as a sincere gesture. I want to call an Orkin exterminator and get them to their house straight away because apparently they have a roach problem. And I killed like 2 roaches in one night, and then I couldn't sleep because the room that I killed them in was the room I was sleeping in. And I just kind of sat there and I was just staring at the ceiling going,
well, that's North Carolina
Did
for
something
you,
move? Did
baby.
something
I'm just
move? Did
saying
something
it's a
move?
little bit more, it's warmer than here.
It's warmer there, yes, I get it.
So,
even
not as bad as Florida. But
even with Scribe and Scribby taking wonderful care of me, taking me to that great coffee place in Raleigh and all that. I mean, not Raleigh.
I can't remember the name of the little town.
Not Cary. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Garner.
Thank you.
It's a great coffee shop on the main street of Garner.
Great coffee shop there. I mean, all I wanted to do was get back to home.
Aww.
I wanted to get back to you. And the only thing that
it's because he wasn't streaming.
That too. But the other thing, the only thing that kept me from going, just beelining home after All Things Open was I did stop to have lunch with my mom.
Nice.
And we sat and we talked a bit. And it was just an impromptu, I'm stopping to have lunch with my mom. And I like being able to do that. But I mean, going away, whether it's for work or I freaking hate it now.
I just drank a lot.
Drown your sorrows.
Drown your sorrows.
In Captain Kirk's brain juices.
There you go.
Drink my feelings.
There you go. So it was. In fact, we're off stream. I want to talk about something with you about the week, about something, because I was just miserable all week.
Oh,
But
you also did hurt yourself and slipped down the stairs.
That
so.
didn't help. That did not.
And boinked
help.
your head.
That did not help.
I always wondered when this thing went up here. I was like, T might no, because the chair goes back.
Well,
that
you know
far.
what it's like though. But to me, that shelf is a lot like the shelf in our utility room, where I bonked my head a couple of times on that because it's right over the
litter box.
The litter box. so it's a 50-50 shot, and most of the time I can miss it. But this one time, and of course it was the week that I'd injured myself, and I've been trying very carefully to get myself up and down on.
Did you get it right here on the corner?
Right on that corner.
This is a really
And
nice
it was
little
right here,
sharp.
right there. That's where it dug into. And
Did you bleed?
Did you bleed?
Tell me about your bleed.
No.
So
no.
your heart is sad and your leg is sore and your
And your head is sore. And you might have slipped on your butt.
But and I was
sore.
also feeling and this is one of the things we got to talk about, but I can at least tease it on the stream. One of the things I need to talk about is the motivation to get back into the Verity Fitzroy series.
Mm-hmm.
I love writing in it. And I'm still gonna write it. Don't worry. But my biggest problem is I keep thinking, do I really want to self-pub again?
Well, the series is indie, so yes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And if you don't want to do it, I can do it.
I know.
I can do that.
I know. I know you can. I
can take care of business.
I didn't say you couldn't.
Katie knows I can take care of business.
I never said you couldn't. But the it just feels I just have to wonder, is the payoff there?
Yes.
Okay.
That was easy.
How about expounding for the few people we have in chat?
Every time we release any kind of Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences, our income goes up. Did you need a bigger explanation than that?
Shit, I got to start writing, everybody. We're going to wrap up stream right now. Wow, I didn't. No, honestly, I did not know
it
that.
does.
I didn't know that. Substantially.
It's worth it. Yes.
Okay. Oh. I'm asking. I'm making conversation on stream. It's exclusive content.
Yes.
You know? Would you rather have me talk about?
But
would you rather have me talk about bonking my head on a shelf instead?
No, you wouldn't.
Because
I did ask Katie if she would do our developmental edits.
Okay.
And I said yes.
Yes. I said, would you like some American pesos?
Because
and she
you know
said,
what?
yes.
Because when we self-pub, her income goes up.
That's the reason to do it.
Actually, both of our incomes go
I'll
up.
be nice.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
No, she's not.
But that's
I don't want you to be nice.
I can.
you
You know
like
what?
me.
Because this isn't the podcast, I can go in and say this. Fuck that. No, you won't. We're gonna get that grumpy cat. No, we're gonna get that again. I know we are.
You guys are the only ones I do grumpy cat for,
Because she
so-
knows we'll
Because
take
I
it.
know you'll
We'll
love
take
me
it.
anyway.
It's funny. You're lucky too, you little bitch. Because the first time that happened, I got pissed. I was like,
What?
Who the fuck does she think she is? And I'm like, oh, she's Katie. What am I talking about?
Also, she's the editor.
Also, she's the editor. It just it threw me for such a loop because I'm like, she doesn't respect me. Then I looked at it again and I'm like, actually, she does respect me in a weird way. This is a term of endearment.
It is a term of endearment.
It's
It
tough
is.
love. It's tough love through Grumpy Cat.
It's
But the
because
book
I
was
knew
better.
you could do better.
Right.
And I thought you would actually be amused by Grumpy Cat.
We
Well,
were.
at first I wasn't. Now I am, and now it's sort of
No,
it is?
you are not doing anything deliberately to get a grumpy cat.
No, I'm not. No. Do not become Paul Hollywood. Do not give out the handshakes.
Oh, no. You
If
have
I-
to
if-
you have to earn Grumpy
I
Cat.
have. Yeah. I gotta fuck up big time, so that I get the Paul Hollywood. Ooh,
No,
it's
it's
a
not
bad
even-
bake, Maddie.
It's not
Soggy
even big
bottom.
time,
Soggy
it's
bottom.
often just repeatedly. You have to fuck up the same small thing repeatedly.
Repeated soggy
through the
botted.
Yeah.
for me
Repeated
to-
soggy bottoms.
To show
Okay.
the Grumpy Cat.
Well, I got to make sure I earn it. That's the thing. I gotta make
Besides,
sure I earn it.
you know,
No, unearned Grumpy Cat.
you say you ask, is it worth it? People love Verity. Did you not know people love Verity? I get messages like, "Oh, there's another book
Okay,
coming."
hang on a second. Who gets messages?
I do.
Say
And
it
then
again.
I say
Who
that.
gets messages?
I do.
Right.
That's because they know that
don't.
they can come to me. I've got a kind, thoughtful shoulder to cry on.
And this is why in the yeah. Explain this one to me. So apparently we are up for an award.
We are?
We're up for an award.
Oh, that's right, you
at
did tell me about
RavenCon. All right, now get this. It's supposed to be given out to Richmond writers. The recent ministry book, Operation Endgame, got nominated. Guess whose name is on the nomination?
Pips.
Yeah.
I had a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
But irony would say it's me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not scared. I'm not from Richmond, Virginia. This is me. Wow.
Well, I'm sort of Richmond adjacent.
This is the second time, though. This chat, I got to tell you this story. This pisses me off so much.
You tell your story. I have one thing to do.
Okay, you do that. So we get an invitation.
No.
You get an invitation.
Get an invitation.
You get an invitation from the James River Writers Festival.
And they're like,
James River
would
Writers
you like
Festival.
to come and present at our conference?
And you can bring a +1.
And so I yell down the stairs.
Hey, T.
Hey, T, do you want to be a +1 at this writing conference in Richmond?
I could hear him scream.
And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Then on top of that, we get to the writers conference, and if I remember it correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, baby, but I remember correctly, Bill Bloom is introducing us, and he gets to me, and I say, yeah, Pip got the invitation. The Richmond native is the +1, so I got to say, and I looked at Bill Bloom, and I went, thanks, James River Writers, and I just brought the house down. But boy, what a good conference. In fact, it was at that conference we did the social media for writers
the first time
workshop, which eventually became the social media for writers.
Yeah, and apparently we're just looking to see if
we can't do a
might be a because social media books need updating every so often.
Yeah.
So we've been kind of kicking that around as
actually. Let's close on it. Let's do a quick just for funsies.
Funsies. We have funsies. I have reached the bottom of my sipping cream, so.
Oh dear. Well, then you better top it off.
So we're looking at the.
We're gonna look at the TOC. We're gonna look at the table of contents.
What year did this book come out? 15?
So
it's 4. My God, is it 4?
14.
14?
Hang on a second.
Look at the inside cover.
Social media for writers. Got to put on my old man glasses.
Old man Morris needs his glasses.
I didn't realize this.
15?
This was distributed in UK and Europe.
Oh,
I didn't realize that. Oh, hot damn. Copyright 2015.
Yeah, so it's 4 years old now.
So it's 4
coming
years
up on its 4th
years
years.
old.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, hey Unicorn, how you doing?
Hey,
okay,
Unicorn.
so here's what we got.
We had one of our people at the I won't name names. One of our people at the Smoky Writers was wearing a unicorn onesie.
It was not me.
It was not us. Neither of us were wearing a unicorn onesie, but there was a unicorn onesie
here
involved.
are the table of contents. Chapter 1, WordPress.
Still valuable.
Still valuable. Still essential. Second one, Tumblr.
Still relevant.
Now,
I would still include Tumblr.
We'd have to talk. You'd have to address the whole thing about
the adult content.
The adult content. How that was.
Yes, there'd be some updates.
Elder Unicorn says hi, Katie.
Hi.
He's good people. He's a regular on my streams. He's good people. Third one, obviously, podcasting. Gotta
stick with that one.
I guess.
Here's where it gets true.
Did I mention
we've met
that was
one
your
or two
outside
people.
voice, Brisky. Just saying.
We've met one or two, three people.
I had produced the Apex Magazine podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Which you can find at
Paul Herring's here. Hi, Paul.
Which
hey,
you can
PC.
find at www.apex-magazine.com.
Ooh.
Check that out.
So we will have to include podcasting.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where it gets tricky now. We're starting to get into some murky territory. Facebook.
I would still include Facebook.
I would include Facebook, but
it
we
would
have
need
to
heavier updates. Yeah,
we would
on
have
that
to
one.
really rewrite that chapter. First off, I don't think a page works anymore. I mean, we're still maintaining our pages, but
depends on whether you've got a budget or not.
that's true.
If you have
That's
a budget,
very true.
and there are some authors who have a lot of money. I don't know who they are, but there are some.
What's that like? Who's
I
that?
don't know who those people are.
Well, I know one of those writers who has a lot of money, and the one thing he's not doing is writing because he's going everywhere, accepting awards and getting other sci-fi shows to produce his stuff. I'm not naming names, George.
T, that was your outside voice.
Yes.
No, this was my outside voice.
He's used his outside voice.
Fucking get behind your keyboard and start writing, you fat ass. Okay, I'm sorry. I got that out of my
Didn't
system.
you
now.
once tell me that man is not my bitch? Didn't you once tell me that?
No,
No.
I've never
Changed,
said that.
man.
No,
You've
no.
changed.
You know what? He's not. No, he's not my bitch. He's not your bitch. He's HBO's bitch.
That's true.
I'm
Changed,
sorry.
man.
Hey, look, I don't care. I'll
And this is
I'll
what I
take the
get-
money and be
and guess
HBO's
what?
bitch.
And guess what? This is where the spike in. I just jumped by 4 viewers just now.
Just by
Anyway,
mentioning his name.
Just by mentioning the name.
Paul
Okay.
says going thought is that Facebook groups are better and more effective than pages. And yes, indeed, there is a ministry
Group.
called Steampunk and the Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences, which I started, which is a nice way of keeping people posted on things
because
that
people see that content.
Yes, they see
People
that content a little bit more. So yes, I would say groups
But
still
if
have a
you're gonna-
page.
If you're gonna do that, don't add people to.
No, do not do
do
that.
not do that.
And
No,
we
do
do
not
say
do that.
that in the book.
Yeah,
That
we
is
do
that
say
is
That is a section of the book you should keep.
that is the evergreen
we're-
content.
We're gonna need
Annoying.
some. We're gonna need some rewriting on that.
I don't mind being invited, but do not add me.
Do not add me, because
So
I will
here's-
hunt you down and spatchcock
There
you.
go. Ouch.
Spatchcock you with chicken scissors.
Yeah. So the next chapter
Facebook?
is Twitter.
Twitter.
Still Twitter? Yes, still Twitter.
Oh yeah.
In fact, Twitter is a great way to meet agents
Yeah, and editors
and
and just keep people up to speed. Yeah, absolutely. So I would definitely say
cats.
and cats and cats.
cat. There's a lot of cat
Okay,
content.
first chapter that's going into that's
Going
out,
to the bin?
out of the pool. Google Plus.
Good day, good day, sir. I say.
I shit you not. It is in this book. Google Plus.
I think
it's a relic from another time.
I think
Yeah.
at that point when we were writing it, even then it was just holding on.
It was just holding on barely by its fingernails. Gonna jet myself into my own writing chair. Oh, cheers. Welcome back and enjoy. Thanks, PC. Thanks a lot. Go get them. Happy word hunting. YouTube.
Still? Yes. Still YouTube, right?
Yeah, still YouTube. Pinterest.
Still?
Pinterest still works.
Still.
I never got into it, and then I get annoyed when I try to look at images, and they're like, "You have to log in," and I'm like, "I don't want to log in."
I just want to look. I just want to look at images.
Screw you.
I've kind of dialed back on using Pinterest. I still think it's relevant-ish.
I like it, but I have to remember to post in Pinterest, and there's still nothing to really automatically post you on Pinterest.
No.
I was doing it religiously with Happy Hour from the Tower.
Actually,
but
I
it's not
would.
doing
You know
as
what I
much.
would include? I would include later.com because I've been using that quite a bit.
Later.com. You know what? We'll talk. I think I know where we could put later.com. Mm-hmm. Instagram. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
In fact, I think Instagram needs to bump
Increase.
up in this list.
Up,
It needs to
up,
the
up,
list.
up. I'd put it above Tumblr.
Yeah, no. We keep Tumblr and Word. Remember, we were grouping them. We keep Tumblr and WordPress together. Together because they're blogging. They're like blogging
Yeah,
things.
mini blogging. Yeah.
Then we have podcasting, and then I said I wanted to enter in Twitch. So podcasting, then Twitch.
Yes, because those go together.
And then we would do Twitter, Facebook, all the other ones. And then there was chapter 10, which was additional options.
Ooh, I'm interested what we put in additional options.
Well, I remember when
Oh God,
It's
what
gonna
was
be-
it? Oh, it was that. Oh gosh,
hang on.
I can't remember the name of it now. I think it still exists, but I don't know if people use it.
Goodreads.
Goodreads, yes, I would still include Goodreads, but
let's see.
I'd go into that.
We'd have to, Reddit.
Yes, Reddit. Reddit.
I think we need to actually get more into Reddit.
Yeah, I would probably, yeah.
Storify. Do people still use Storify?
I have seen people using it, yeah.
The section is called A Social, Untapped, Vivino, and Distiller.
Well, those still exist.
That was the section I wrote
Yes.
about booze.
Guess who wrote that section, Katie?
Yeah, but you know, yeah. The funny thing about Untapped, and I say it on here somewhere, that I have met more authors through Untapped than any.
Ooh, Claire Humphrey is on Untapped.
I need to find Claire on Untapped. Then we talk about building your brand. Oh, this might be the one that needs to go out. Tsuko, tsu.co.
Yes, that's out of the pool.
That was a brand new one.
That didn't. It was sort of like floating, but I think it's saying.
The other random social media platforms.
Yeah, ones that
kind of appeared and then vanished.
They're like,
and
we're gonna
vanished.
kill Facebook, and then they drown.
Yeah, they were gone.
Like Elo.
Elo, man, I remember Elo. Damn, wow.
Hello, gone.
Hello.
Don't get too attached to it.
So we would have to definitely do a rewrite over additional
Hello,
options.
more like goodbye.
Yeah.
You say hello, and I say goodbye.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello.
Nobody there. Hello.
Yeah, I love this one. Chapter 11, SEO. And the subtitle is The Dark Arts of Search Engine Optimization. Pip refused to write this chapter, and I wrote it, and then I took a long Silkwood-esque shower afterwards.
Scrub.
I want this. I want this gone. I want it dead. I want it buried in the ground. I want it buried upside down so I can piss on its ass. Seriously, I want that chapter gone. I hated that chapter. It was a dark.
That was a dark time.
Chapter 12. That might be one we might need to revisit. Content marketing.
Yes, that is still something that is relevant.
Useful across multiple platforms.
Yes,
So-
I agree. I totally agree. And then the last chapter is best practices in social media.
Yeah, we just run through that and make sure that we've gossied them up.
We
I think
could
it's still a solid book.
Oh no, it's still a solid book. We could easily.
It wouldn't take us long to update it and make.
But there was a. Oh, you know what it was? We did an exclusive chapter for the audiobook on Periscope.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I remember the days.
Is Periscope still around?
Periscope is still around.
Does anyone use it?
Yeah, people do, and writers use it. But here's the thing. So when it comes to the big three of streaming, Twitch is still the reigning king. Mixer is the biggest
Biting at the
competitor.
heels?
It's biting at the heels. There are a lot of people that have gone from Twitch, and Mixer kind of tempted some folks at Twitch by saying, "Hey, if you come and join Mixer, we'll give you instant partnership." And it won a lot of people over in Mixer. But the thing is,
Ninja's still on Twitch, right?
Ninja's still on Twitch.
So,
but Ninja's on Twitch. Dr. Lupo is still on Twitch. You know, a lot of the people of all the people that I was watching on Twitch, the only one that made the jump over to Twitch to Mixer was K Magic 101, and he was a guy. He's one of the guys that organized. Because I reached out to him and said, "Hey, would you like to have me interview you for Twitch for Dummies?" And that's when he said, "Well, T, I'm about to announce this, but I'm jumping over to Mixer." So Monkey, yeah, I'm pretty sure Katie's audio might be a little weak, but that's because right now she's not talking to the microphone. So there is that.
Not yet.
Not there. There's
Not
that.
yet.
Hi there. So anyway, but going back to this, so the third one though is Facebook. No, I take it back. YouTube. YouTube is trying to do. They're trying to do their own gaming. Actually, it's Facebook and YouTube are vying for that third spot. And the thing is, I tried watching Facebook Live. I tried watching the Facebook Lives, and they do the same. They try to rename it like, "Oh yeah, give me stars. That's awesome." It's like bits. And the stars, it's such a. It's not even trying to be.
It's just a blatant ripoff.
It is a blatant ripoff. I mean, it's Zuckerberg going for the low hanging fruit, and I'm not impressed with it. And I knew some people that jumped from being on Twitch to being on Facebook Live, and it's all because they want it all to be on one platform. One thing we would have to address in this book, if we went back to Facebook, is we got to talk about how cavalier that they've been with data at Facebook.
Yeah, that would be another, because that's a concern to people. And a genuine concern.
Yeah, I mean, I have had several days where I'm like, why am I on this platform? And I wonder, is it worth it maintaining it? Because I just don't. I mean, and I've told, God love her, Serena knows this, and I'm proud of her for doing this. But she knows if you want to keep something private, the last thing you do is take it online anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Even if you own the server, just keep it off.
Oh my gosh, there was a huge thing on Discord where they were hunting down furries. There was some sort of child porn furry situation going on.
Yeah.
And everyone was like freaking out because Discord couldn't look at your messages.
Right, but that's the point. Even before that, I talked about this in the Twitch for Dummies book. Discord, shortly after Charlottesville, there were all these alt-right white supremacist groups that were on Discord, and then one day they went to log on, and they weren't allowed.
Womp
and
womp.
Womp womp. And they contacted Discord to say, "Hey, I can't log into my account." And they go, "Yeah, you've been blacklisted.
You violated the terms of service.
You violated the terms of service." And they go, "No, I didn't. You promoted hate speech." "Oh, it's First Amendment. You're on our server." And that was the end. That was the end of it. And I mean, that's when Discord became heroes in my book.
Because the First Amendment only applies for the government, right?
The First Amendment applies for government And the First Amendment applies for the individual, right? In other words, the government cannot crack down on me
for saying whatever you want to say.
Right.
Yeah.
But
a private company
if you
doesn't.
came into my house and started saying hateful things, I could ask you to leave my house.
Right. And I can't say, well, that's the First Amendment. They were like, no, you're being a dick.
Say, no, my house, my rules.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's what Discord did. And it freaked out. It didn't just freak out a couple of people, and it freaked out every. I was reading the comments of this one guy who was on an alt-right channel, and he said, nobody's communicating more. Nobody's posting because they're afraid they're going to get blacklisted.
Good.
And I'm like, good.
That was kind of
Fuck you.
That was kind of the point, if I'm not mistaken.
And
Crawl
that's
back under
and that's
the rock.
other thing. You cannot say, this is my First Amendment right. It's like, well, okay, it's your First Amendment right. Also,
Is the government kicking down your door and taking you?
No, it's okay, honey. It's okay. Discord would just pay them back their money for membership on Discord. Oh, that's right. You don't pay anything for Discord.
It belongs to them.
It belongs to them, which also means the content belongs to them. And it's the same thing with, people were saying, like people were telling me on Twitch, well, I'm going on to Mixer so that I know it's my content. It's like, no, it's not. That's not how it works, Sparky. There's only been one company that I know of that when they shut down, they handed me back all of my data back. They said, this is all the stuff you posted, and here it was. It was Whirl.
Well,
I loved Whirl.
pull one out, man.
Pour one out for the homies. For Whirl. But that's the thing is that Mixer owns that content unless they're paying for that server space. Same thing with, yes, Amazon owns Twitch. We get that. Amazon may own the content that people produce on Twitch. I get that too because I'm using their service. And it's the same thing. People could say the same thing about, people got up in arms because, people are getting banned for saying hateful things. But I'm sitting there going, look, it's their, like you said, Katie, it's their house. It's their rules. So I think we should mention something about how Facebook is not keeping a good house at present between Cambridge Analytica and some of the ways they've been cavalier about their data. Unicorn just said he mods for a streamer on Facebook who moved from Twitch to YouTube, and now he's on Facebook.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, again, I get it, and I get how Facebook is trying to be that one-stop shop, but I just don't think they can handle the bandwidth. I really don't.
I don't know if you want a one-stop shop.
I don't. No.
I don't want all my eggs in one basket.
No.
Because one day Zuckerberg may sell it. Because Zuckerberg may sell it one day, and then let's say he sells it to Disney or he sells it to Microsoft. It doesn't mean it's going to be the same service. And I always think about that. There was that one very powerful image. I think it was something that that Ready Player One did get right. When the suits were trying to control the Oasis, and they said we figured out, and they did this image of the of someone's
like 60% of the screen,
and there was 60% of the screen that we could fill with ads and still not bother the people using Oasis. I'm like, I
don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about that.
People scream about Facebook ads as it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I got a weird one today. I was like. I got a weird post today on Instagram. I'm like, who the F are these nitwits? And then I looked and I was like, oh, it's sponsored. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you.
I gotta watch out for that.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So I think now it's time for us to wrap up. It's getting late on our end. I've got to power things down.
I got another beer I need to drink.
Yeah.
I have finished Shatner's body and head.
So
I have drunken the Shat.
So I'm just going to go ahead.
Oh my God. That's not.
She's had.
I have drunken the Shatner.
She's got.
I have drunken the Shatner.
I have drunken the
Shatner. Tonight.
Damn it, Bones. I need to drink the Shatner.
All right.
Hey,
Bye,
one of the finest offerings Canada has ever given us. Okay.
Yes, thanks for that.
He was the Canadian Olivier back in the day.
But they also gave us Nickelback and Justin Bieber. So, but they gave us Ryan Reynolds. It's still 50-50.
No.
And Ryan Gosling.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we need someone who can
and me
and you.
We need someone to play the first American on the moon. Let's get a Canadian. Perfect. It's like saying we need someone to play the all-American hero Superman.
It's Canada.
Hey, let's get the Brit. All right. enough of this. We're going to go on ahead. I'm going to let AutoHost do its thing. Thank you, Chad, for hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun. Watch for the podcast in dropping on the Shared Desk feed over at theshareddesk.com. Drop us a line at t@tmorris.com or
Pip at pjballantyne.com.
if you want to drop her a line.
Just Twitter at KT Brisky.
Just tweet at her.
Tweet me.
Just tweet at her and she'll be fine. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good night.
Night.
Night.